There are cities that move fast, cities built for arrival, for efficiency, for the next thing. Kyoto is not one of them. Japan's ancient capital sits in a wide valley, surrounded by forested mountains, threaded with rivers, and layered with more than 1,000 years of history. For over a millennium, this was the seat of the Japanese emperor, the spiritual and cultural heart of a nation that prizes refinement above almost everything else. And somehow, against all odds, much of that world survived. Today, Kyoto is home to over 1,600 temples and shrines. It has more UNESCO World Heritage Sites than most entire countries. And yet, if you walk its older neighborhoods in the early morning, before the tour groups arrive, before the city fully wakes, you can almost feel the centuries folded into the stones beneath your feet. This is Kyoto, and this is how to experience it. Kyoto sits about 2.5 hours from Tokyo by Shinkansen, the bullet train, and the transition is jarring in the best possible way. Tokyo is vertical, loud, electric, a city that never quite stops. Kyoto exhales. The skyline here is low by design. Building height restrictions protect the sightlines to the surrounding mountains. The pace slows, the streets narrow, and almost immediately you start noticing things. A moss-covered stone lantern at the entrance to a side alley. A wooden townhouse, its facade darkened by decades of rain. A shrine gate glimpsed between modern storefronts. Kyoto rewards attention. It's a city for people who like to look slowly. The temples of Kyoto aren't just attractions, they're an argument that beauty is worth protecting. That silence has value, that some things deserve to be kept exactly as they are. Fushimi Inari Taisha, with its thousands of vermilion torii gates winding up the mountain, is perhaps the most photographed spot in all of Japan. And for good reason, nothing quite prepares you for the tunnel of red that stretches upward through the trees, the light filtering through in gold and shadow. But it's Ryoan-ji that stops most people cold. A rectangular garden of raked white gravel, 15 stones arranged in 5 groups. No flowers, no water, no obvious symbolism anyone has ever fully agreed upon. Just rock, gravel, and stillness, and the quiet sense that you're looking at something that has been asking a question for 5 centuries and isn't in a hurry for an answer. Kinkaku-ji, the golden pavilion, is almost unreasonably beautiful. A Zen temple covered in gold leaf, reflected perfectly in a still pond. Every photographer who visits discovers the same thing. No editing is required. Gion is Kyoto's most famous geisha district, and one of the few places in the world where you might still glimpse a geiko or maiko moving quickly through the lantern-lit streets at dusk, on their way to an appointment. A short walk away, the stone-paved lanes of Ninenzaka and Sanenzaka wind uphill through perfectly preserved architecture. Small shops sell ceramics, matcha sweets, and lacquerware. It's touristy, yes, but it earned that status. This is genuinely one of the most beautiful streets in the world. On the western edge of the city, the Arashiyama district offers a different kind of beauty, wilder, greener, and somehow even more quiet. The bamboo grove is the famous one. A path cut through towering stalks of bamboo, the light diffused green and silver, the sound of wind through the canes creating something close to music. It's crowded midday. It's extraordinary at dawn. The Togetsukyo Bridge, the moon-crossing bridge, spans the river here, framing a view of forested mountains that has been painted, photographed, and written about for 1,000 years. It looks exactly like it should. Kyoto is a city that asks something of you. Not much, just your attention, your willingness to slow down, to take the long way through the garden, to sit for a moment in front of the rock garden at Ryoan-ji and let the silence do its work. In a world that keeps accelerating, there's something quietly radical about a place that simply refuses to rush. If you go, and you should, give yourself more time than you think you need. Walk without a destination sometimes. Let the city show you what it wants you to see. You won't regret it.